Okay, I'll move this back on. What are the first and last things you do on an average day?
Well, the first thing I usually do is just work out. And I get up in the morning without thinking and just jump on the life cycle, work out, or go on a bicycle ride or on a run or something like that. And the last thing I do is usually, when the kids are at home, put them to bed, talk to them, hang out with them, or do something like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite nickname?
Well, here they call me Arnie.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
It's
As a matter of fact,
affectionate,
I remember when I was governor, people called me governor. It was natural. But then when I came to London, they still called me Arnie.
Yeah.
Hey, Arnie.
Yeah.
Arnie.
Yeah.
So I think that's
And you're
funny.
happy with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in Japan, they call me Schwarzi. No, Schwarzi. So everywhere is something different.
That's a good one. If you could choose a time, what part of your fantastic career would you relive?
You mean my lifetime?
Some part of your career so far. Would you go back to the weightlifting days, or would it be Terminator time? When would it be?
To be honest with you, I enjoy my time right now.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that the amount of wisdom and knowledge and learning experience that I've gone through, just going through the sport of bodybuilding, the things that you learn there about discipline, about camaraderie, about visualizing, about staying focused, never taking your eye off the ball, all of those things that you could then apply in all the other careers. If it is your acting career, if it is your political career, in order to apply all that. So I think to have learned in each career, if it is bodybuilding, if it's show business, the things that I have learned there, the things that I've learned in the political arena, and on all this, I think that I feel good about having had all of those different careers, and now to create a synergy and put all of this together is really fantastic. So I wouldn't switch. I feel really great about where I am today.
There are great Hollywood stories about people like Tom Selleck turning down the chance to be Indiana Jones. Is there one film that you really regret, or one part you regret turning down from King Conan?
Yeah, I remember that Jerry Bruckheimer came to me with a script for The Rock that John Connery ended up doing, and Nicolas Cage, and I was offered the Nicolas Cage part, and but it was like 80 pages and with scribbles and handwritten stuff over, and this is shit, and let's not do this page, and let's rewrite this, I looked at this thing as I was in the middle of filming, and I looked at this script and I said, what is that? I said, I can't commit to that. I said, why don't you get your act together and come back with a good script? Well, in the meantime, they did get the act together, and then they hired Nicolas Cage, and I really loved that movie. I thought it turned out fantastic, and by the way, Nicolas Cage did an extraordinary job. So I don't know if I would have been able to do as good a job as he did, but I mean, I was mad that I turned down that role because it was really a great role. So those things happen, but in the meantime, there's also other situations where I fought for a script and took it away from someone else,
right.
And it ended up being a great script. So it's both ways. Like I said, there's really no science behind it.
Take us behind the scenes a little bit as well, and tell us, how do you learn your lines? How do you do that?
I just read the script several times, and then I have a actor or someone is an acting coach, come over to the house and work with me every day for hours, and then I try to study the script and know it from the front page to the back page, the entirety, so that I never ever have to look at the script again when I actually get on a set. When I go on a set, the script will never be touched again, because from then on I only pick up things, and I don't want to get tied down to the dialogue or to the lines. I know my lines, and if any changes happen, or if anything gets improvised, or if the director comes and says add this line or that, I do that. But I want to be free so that I can, act better rather than getting stuck with dialogue.
Got you.
Yeah.
A question from Slicko here says, are you making Terminator 5?
Well, they're writing right now Terminator 5. And I think there have been some writers on it for the last year and a half, and they could not pull it off. And, we have told them that over and over they're going in the wrong direction. And now they finally got rid of these writers, and they got new writers, really quality writers, and now they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I think that within this year the script will be finished and they will be able to go into pre-production.
Yeah. Another question here. You've achieved a lot in your life so far, but are there any big ambitions left that you're really keen to?
Well, I think that I want to take this experience that I've gained during the governorship and really make an impact, especially when it comes to global warming. I feel very strongly that we must do a better job worldwide, and so I want to do the same thing as I've done with the fitness crusade that I have led for the last 4 or 5 decades. To talk about fitness and to talk about the importance of training and to talk about the importance of exercising every day and all of this. I want to do the same with the environment. That's why I created the R20, an environmental organization which is headquartered in Switzerland, in Geneva. And we have also created the USC Schwarzenegger Institute at the university. And we use those as a means to really get the word out there and to promote environmental causes worldwide. They have energy conferences, environmental conferences, and so on. We have one on the 31st of January in Vienna that I'm hosting together with the Chancellor of Austria, and we will be doing this in California and in Asia and all over the world. And so we got to get a sustainable energy future going, and we got to go and reduce our emissions of greenhouse gases. We in California have made a commitment to reduce our greenhouse gases by 20%. Here in England, you have made great headway with that and shown great leadership in that area. In Europe, they have now. So there's great work, but America is still falling, way behind. Asia is way behind, so we want to inspire them in some of the South American countries to get with the program and to start, working together on this issue.
Do you have to practice what you preach then? Because I know you've still got some big cars, and Americans love big gas guzzlers. Do you have a big Hummer at home, or do you drive the Toyota Prius?
Yeah, no, you don't have to drive a Prius to be gas efficient. If you have a Hummer and you have a hydrogen engine, it has 0 emissions of greenhouse gases. So this is why I tell my way of approaching this is I want to tell people they should not have to change their life. What they have to do is concentrate on the change of technology, because the technology today is available that you can drive the biggest truck, but if it's an electric engine or if it's a hydrogen engine, you don't emit the greenhouse gases. So it's all about technology. It's the same with light bulbs. There's places like in Oslo where they have redone the light bulbs and they're saving 75% of their energy because they have more efficient light bulbs, and it saves them money and therefore on pollution and so on. So technology, that's where the action is.
Last couple of questions for you now. Which female actors would you like to star alongside looking ahead in the next 5 years?
Makes no difference to me.
Does it matter?
No, absolutely not.
Nobody in particular that you really fancy?
No. To me, I mean, any of those actresses, if it's a good actress, and it depends what the part is. There's some parts, like if you do a Conan type movie and you have a female lead in there, then it has to be a gorgeous, athletic looking female. If it is another part, then maybe that doesn't matter at all. Sometimes you want to have a 40, 50-year-old Hausfrau looking, a woman who is a great actress. But it really depends what the part is. But I don't get involved in those things. Every time I do a movie, I think that the casting people and the directors and producers get the right females, so I have no concern. Like, for instance, in Last Stand, I mean, we have Jamie Alexander. I didn't pick her. They picked her, but she was fantastic. She was a great athlete, did an extraordinary job with the stunts and with the driving and with the shooting and all of those things. She's a great athlete, so they picked the right person.
Sure. And last question from Grant. Do you feel that your age is catching up with you, or is it just a number?
Well, in a way it is catching up with you, but I mean, I'm lucky, like I said earlier, that I'm exercising every day so that I can walk on a set and do the stunts and not feel like I'm out of shape or I'm too old or I can't do that. Like when I did this movie, I did all of the stunts. I had a great time working. I rehearsed. I'm a fanatic about reps, so to do it over and over. I learned it from sports, and so it all worked out really well. So right now I can do all of the stuff and all of the stunts, and that's why we're doing another Conan movie. I think if I wouldn't be training every day, I would have a difficult time doing the work that I do. But that's not the case, so right now I'm still fine. Maybe 20 years from now, ask me again. Maybe then it's different. Then maybe the bones crack a little bit,
Yeah.
and then a little
Yeah.
bit more warm up or whatever.
Just one last little question as well. The film is a lot of guns and a lot of violence in the film, and there's been quite a lot of bad publicity in America over the last year about the gun situation. I mean, what's your stance on that one, Arnie?
Well, I think that movies are movies, and what is in the real world is in the real world. But having said that, I think it's extremely important that whenever we have a tragedy like that, I think we all have to think about and get together in an open-minded way and just say, let's look at everything. Is there anything that we can do in order to minimize those kind of incidences? Because there's so many lives that are being lost. If it is looking at the gun laws, if it is looking at safety in schools, if it is looking at mental illnesses, if it is at parenting, education, all of the things ought to be looked at in a comprehensive way and debated over and then hopefully improved. And that's the way we ought to move forward.
Arnold, thanks so much for coming in and opening the studio. The Last Stand is out on January the 24th, this Friday in the UK. Go and see it. It's a great film. Thank you very much,
Thank
Arnold
you very
Schwarzenegger.
much. Thank you.